Good day, viewers. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the news today. Please feel free to share what you think and feel. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
We can go. We can carry on. Finish. This is our style. You will live there, live behind us. Why did you Vertel hij om die grijze t-shirt en die fuck off. Nee bro. Vertel hij om die...
Ngeke sifuna one line before Africa my continent, Africa my home, before aye Westville. Isimlindile vela nanti iveni imlindile. Siyayibona idudula operation dudula bakhona march and march bakhona ngibona ne MK khona ngibona nophakela umthakathi bathi bazosupporta kwenza ukuthi mawusiye Westville bathenga ilwafo wesinkwa lethini ka fish kuthiwani la ngaphathi uzo ithini
ngwenya bathi la ngaphakathi bathi amaphoyisa wasibopha ngoba sithi ayisithi umthetho wathi simple sithi akusuka abantu abangafanele bebe la ezweni beyokugcwala lapha ebhedlela ngoba kuningi ubugebengu esikutholayo ukuthi nabuningi ngosuku nje angazi bangachazela sithola amaphepha fraudulent izinto eziningi abazenzayo bathi asisuke ke sekuyenza leyo nto ungene ebuthephi esibhedlela yabo so sina sithi asithandi ukuthi sibenze lokho ngoba akukho umuntu esimvimbayo ongafanele ngabula phaya wonke umuntu ofana ngabulapha samngenisa njengoba nje kusho constitution ithi mangabe umuntu angaphandle uthola emergency healthcare asivimbi umuntu kwaba emergency kodwa ngeke size sivume ukuthi kuhlale kuthiwa amaphilisi awekho abantu besifazana imbhede abanayo bazalela phansi abantu bafanele bathole bangene kuma list lapha ama operation khona ngisho abantu abama illegal iyayenza sense leyo nto uqhamuka kwelinye ilizwe uzele nje operation ebalekile umuntu wala eSouth Africa yena odinga ukuba ufanele alinde wena uqhamuka ungaziwa ukuthi uzothola le operation angeke sivume leyo nto nginya sithi ngeke sivume
human right lokubizini
human rights impela
umela amalungelo ase
bathi ke bona bathola ama complaint nathi sa complain njalo sasamasha sayakubona kodwa
abawathola ngawena ama complaint
samasha sayakubona qathatha kodwa kaze beze behlale phansi ngathi bathi baya address inkinga sasiveza uyayizwa into engishoyo enye into bathi ufuna uyichaza lento ngoba ngilokhu ngichazile bathi lento esenzayo ayikho emthethweni ubuzo wami uthi ke ngwenya uthini umthetho osuphulayo ngoba uyiphula kanjani umthetho wento efanele ngaba ayikho ngoba bese ayikho emthethweni usho kanjani ukuthi siphula umthetho ukuthi siblock abantu ngendlela abasho ngayo abantu abama illegal wena ama illegal immigrants fanele ngaba wekho vele fanele ngaba deport ngokomthetho so ikuphi umthetho lo owawuzowakhelwa ukuthi kube khona umthetho omisa umthetho ofanele ngaba ukho ayazi noma yayenze awona sekudlala ngathi
sifuna umthetho ophikisana nomthetho wokuthi umthetho okufanele ngaba ukho lowo mthetho ngaba
yini leyo akazi ube khona umthetho wokuthi abantu bangablokho ngoba akazi kube khona ukuthi abantu bangaphandle fanele bakhona la illegally vele so usho kanjani siblock umthetho ukube lo mthetho
bebekhona kodwa ama-complainant
bakhona la ngaphakathi abasikhulumisa abanye bahlimile la eduze kwethu
laba kuyibona ama-foreigners la kuyibona afaka isikhalazo la
bakhona bahleli la abaseduze kodwa abasho ukuthi bawoba kodwa emaphepheni enkantolo thiwa abavumelekile ukuveza ukuthi bangoba yazi indaba benze njani benzela ukuthi singathi okay asibone amaphepha abo
yebo
uyifihlelani phela uma ngabe wrong angithi awunankinga wena ngiteka bathi ke izathu sokuthi bayifihle ingoba basabela impilo yabo kodwa ithini sihlale sikhishela ibhamu lapho na ama-volunteer angakutshela hleze khishela ibhamu kuthiwa bazodutshula usho kanjani ukuthi sibone labo bantu abasenkingeni kube kwabantu bethu on the ground okuhlezi bekhishela ibhamu kwayizolo egoli kade khona omunye eboshayo ukuthi ukhiphelwe iZimbabwe isibhamu ithina kahle kahle singekho safe kuyona yonke lento kodwa bathi bona ibona abangekho safe
Africa my continent besikhuluma nophakela umthakathi ukuthi wonke umuntu akabe yilida nangu Jacinta umile nangu phakela umthakathi umile iDudula imile nangu umkhwanazi nawe umile ubhutwethu oyena ubhutwethu umile kanje
na iLabour Desk
iLabour Desk weza ngapha iLabour Desk nansi iLabour Desk
iLabour Desk ingafuna ukuvela
hands off umkhwanazi sekuna hands off okusho ukuthi bafowethu khona la siyakhona khona la siyakhona sonke asibambe nobani nami ngibambe ngapha ngobuso bepoverty la kuhlushwa ngakhona nami ngihamba phambili kodwa ngoba singapha namhlanje so support udadewethu so support umzabalazo noma i-movement ukuthi asibe khona eSouth Africa kodwa sibe khona ngendlela
wenya
finish
that's it nanokuthi abantu abangasorry sizama abantu base South Africa abeke beme manje ukuthi balokhu bethi becheer noma behalalisela uJacinta ukuthi uyalwa iyinsizwa kakhulu iyinsizwa nje kakhulu siyacela bakithi zibe ingxenye nama artist insizwa angithi before umuntu before abe i-artist ungiwasekhaya lesi simo sizo affect izingane zakhe noma ngabe kwamanje yena sikakama affect kodwa eminyakeni ezayo so affect izingane zakhe asilweli la ukuthi sifuna ukunyanya abantu sithi sicela uhulumeni asenzele kahle izinto aprioritize thina abantu base South Africa kuqala umuzi nomuzi mangaba noJacinta umuzi nomuzi mangaba nobaba umsweli umuzi nomuzi mangaba nomkhwanazi even amaphoyisa ngeke abe nawo umsebenzi asizonda abantu bakithi abamnyama kodwa uhulumeni uexploit abantu bakithi abamnyama ukhona umuntu oseparliament okuseqenjeni elibusayo okuyi-NEC yeqembu elibusayo unama truck awu-146 uqashe ama-foreigners odwa enkampanini yakhe a-parliamentarian ukuhulumeni ukuyi-executive yeqembu elikhulu la eSouth Africa elikuhulumeni eliphethe uhulumeni unama-truck awu-146 umuntu wesifazane owazi ubuhlungu bokungasebenzi komuntu unama-truck awu-146 nama-foreigners awu-146 because abafuni ukuwakhokhela abafuni ukulandela laba bantu njengoba izweni umnotho ushona phansi ushoniswa phansi ukuthi kunabantu abawu-20 million abangayikhokhi tax bese thina sizokhokha i-tax engaka-ke ikhushulwe ngapha kithi ngaleyana bebaholela nge-envelope ezi-brown so-ke sithi-ke zonke iy'nsizwa sicela abantu besilisa abakithi bebambe iqhaza sesukumile umangobese wawuhlaba umkhosi ngisho emandulo impi yayibonwa ngabantu besifazane ngoba babevuka kuqala beye emfuleni befike bebonta naku kushunqa intuthu lapha shuthi khona impi ezayo begijime beyotshela obaba ekhaya sewuhlabile umkhosi iy'nsizwa ayisukumeke manje thank you solid ruler.
So residents of Tshwane, we have just finished a by-law enforcement in the CBD. This is one of the establishments at corner of Brown and Blue Street. This is one of the most chaotic part of our CBD that we have not focused on. What we have found here, these Chinese, they are running a prostitution ring. I mean, they've got tons of rooms here. They are selling fake alcohol. They've employed illegal immigrants. So we are arresting 4 Chinese officials. We are arresting all of these people because they don't have documents. I mean, we've got about 15 women. We've got about 15 young men that are working here without proper papers to be in South Africa. So this is one of the ways in which we're going to reclaim the city. But what is clear is that these people are working with our officials. The electricity, the way it is done, they are confessing that they are paid 5,000 rand. So we have a problem internally. Our officials are not loyal, some of them. And so we are taking these ones, we're going to charge those 4 officials for, running a prostitution ring and for employing illegal immigrants. But we will be camping in this side of the city. It's very dirty. We're going to clean it. And in the next few weeks, this place is going to look different. You've got my word on it.
Okay, ladies.
Yeah, you need to take care of your outside business. Where is that letter? There's a letter that we need to be. Letter! Where's the letter? You need to clean up your business. You can't operate in a business. I'm not checking it in the compliance. I'm checking your outside. Must look good. Because once your outside is not good, you are inviting us, Mama. And we're going to come. You see how this Marama starts? We want to formalize it nicely. So you need to work with us. You have the letters?
Yes.
Here's the letters. This letter you must sign, but we gave you a warning. A warning here. Your outside place is not looking good, and it's your responsibility to clean it. You must sign the here or we receive it. But you can read first. It's not our business. So here we're just saying, clean up your outside business, or else we're going to fine you 5,000. Your place must always be clean. Okay, over the last guy. Yeah, on a line in. How about Obelela? How about dismiss a lot of illegal foreigners? Plus, you don't let dark so well. They are never achieved. In my overcame the MMC Department of Environment. Talk about business here. Next time, make it out.
Hello, Mzansi, it's your boy again, Marvel, aka The Comeback. Mzansi, you know by now, when you see my face, Ziakala, it's about to go down. We are going to be exposing shenanigans and corruption. Now, I'm a pillow to Mzansi. Guluti wela. So this used to be a government facility, but they sold it to a private company. But there used to be workers, lana, abantu abasaspan. Baluthe yonke into la Mzansi. Lana, they used to deal the abalone fish, the most expensive fish emhlabeni. Into zethu ngaba zespana la today. So I'm going to give you guys a tour, and I've got a brother, Uspana Lana, is going to give us more detailed information. The problem with us, like South Africa, we are using our stomachs to think, not our brains. Merestqale Mzansi, refurbish our infrastructure and our facilities way too, so we can create employment. Unity like South Africa, ayibuye Mzansi. Ayibuye, unity, ayibuye. So I think in Nigeni tour, I've got a brother la, ozongitshela more about this place. Danko. So la, Department of Agriculture and Fisheries. Ningene ku Google, but I'm gonna also put up a picture la na ye abalone fish, so I can tell you more about leyo ndawo le. Unbheke nje. Ifana nena le ndawo le, South African SAA bathengise kwasani labantu laba. Eskom iku-process nayo to go 100% private. Hi, South Africa, Buffett, we've got the resources, Buffett. Don't be fooled, eh? If we're still focusing over Operation Dudula, rather focus on the means of production, economic freedom, manufacturing, and our land, which was stolen by the minority. Ask yourself, Buffett, why about Donald Trump, they are so obsessed about our country. We've got South Africa, now we've got the potential to employ South Africans and also Africans. We've got resources, we've got Department of Agriculture and Fisheries, Buffett. South African resources. We are probably in South Africa. We've got so much potential, Buffett, to Africa. We are fighting amongst ourselves, but now more opportunities. We can create jobs now, but we are fighting amongst ourselves like Africa. Instead of unity, it's focus on means of production, economic freedom, manufacturing, and the land.
We must hit the dog until the owner comes out. And once the owner comes out, we must deal decisively with the owner. I don't care whether they like me or not. I'm not in a business of being liked. I'm in a business of telling the truth. If they want to hate me for telling the truth, so be it. I don't care. I have no relationship with incompetent people. Whether you are a judge or not, if you are incompetent, you are incompetent.
So, Buffett, this is another department of the building. I'm a cold room, Buffett. You know how much it is, a cold room. So I think in Bonis. See you in the
The country is collapsing. I cannot keep on saying we are fighting white monopoly capital, because after defeating white monopoly capital, there will not be a country to inherit. You will have collapsed this country. So this is an emergency. We had to pause and rescue this country first and continue to fight against white supremacy and against white monopoly capital. So that when we defeat white monopoly capital, we will find a country called South Africa. Under the ANC, South Africa is dying a slowly yet surely death. For me to love you doesn't mean I must hate Zimbabweans. My love for Zimbabweans is not hatred for South Africans. My love for Zimbabweans is the love that you taught me, that we love one another as Africans. We don't discriminate against each other as Africans. Hai lor lenyaka umvote ka re ke bue maka ha re na ke rate batho ba
I think you plan ndawo le. Yeah, so Mzansi, I am concluding my tour. I hope ukuthi bafethu we are learning from each other as the days, weeks and months unfold. Nami, I try my best bafethu to share as much information as I can. And Mzansi, I want you to understand one thing. Just because I'm brave, it doesn't mean ukuthi I'm bulletproof. But I can tell you one thing, bafethu. I've been to the mountaintop, just like Martin Luther King said. And I've looked over that mountain, and my eyes have seen the promised land and the coming of the Lord. I may not get there with you, Mzansi, but we as the people in Mzansi will get to the promised land. So, danko.
Zimbabwe is back. I am going to make you understand how this affects you and what you must do to be part of the story of Zimbabwe's comeback economy. The International Monetary Fund just looked Zimbabwe into the eye and they said, you are going to grow 6% in the next 365 days and you will become the fastest growing economy in Africa. Not maybe, not if conditions are met. You are going to grow 6% guaranteed. What makes this a moment in time is they said it out loud, in public, to the world with their official letterhead and stamp. Which means, somewhere in this world, billionaires just Googled Zimbabwe. My name is Lumumba, your explainer-in-chief. Let me take you back to 2017. Mnangagwa steps into office and he takes over an economy that was not just sick. We had become the patient that every doctor would write off, a hopeless prognosis of futile care. The world had filed us under the category of do not resuscitate. If you can imagine a patient who's lying in a hospital bed in the ICU as Zimbabwe. Now I want you to imagine the face of the president as he walks in. He didn't just see Zimbabwe. What he felt is what you and me perhaps would feel if that patient was your only child. It was an impossible attempt. The president said, roll up your sleeves. He kicked everybody out. He said, get me the best minds and bring them into the room. He took the greatest banker we've ever produced in Zimbabwe, in George Guva Matanga. He took a professor who's the highest order in the merit of economics out of Switzerland, Butuli Ngube, and he said, we're not going to accept this as our ending. It's time to make our choices. And those choices were choices that would make enemies. Mnangagwa chose discipline. He chose transparency with lenders when secrecy would have been a much easier option. And those choices were not popular. They were very necessary. Now, the IMF doesn't do sentiment. They don't do hopeful narratives. They look at the numbers, they look at the behavior, and they look at whether you're going to default on your debt or you're actually going to pay it back. What the IMF has just done is they have just told the world, Zimbabwe is back. It's not an opinion, it's a verification. And it's not just them. The United Nations World Tourism Organization just made Zimbabwe its vice president. That's not a ceremonial post. It means the global tourism bosses are now looking to us for direction. Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man, he visited Zimbabwe under Robert Mugabe, and he was spooked by the instability. He left and said, I'll never come back. He called the president last week and said, you know what, I'm in. Billionaires don't make emotional decisions. His confidence is a signal flare to every investor on the continent that this country is now risk acceptable. Do you see what's happening here? It's not just that we survived. It's that we've become interesting again. The world stopped watching us as a cautionary tale and started watching us as a case study. Here's where I need to ground the understanding of what this really means for you. The whole 6% GDP growth thing sounds like economic juggling to most. Let me translate it. In 2017, when Edie became president, Zimbabwe's GDP was $27 billion. GDP shows the size and health of a country's economy. So if a GDP is growing, it usually means the country and the economy is doing well and you're producing more. If the GDP is shrinking, it means the economy is slowing down and you're producing less. In short, GDP tells you how much stuff, products or services a country makes, converted into money over a set period of time. The bigger the GDP, the bigger the economy. Now, in the next 360 days, the single most powerful international monetary organization says Zimbabwe will grow to 52 billion. Since ED became president, the size of the entire pot of our country, the size of the entire pot we're all eating from, has doubled. Take a look at Delta Beverages, the company that makes most of the drinks you buy. Their sales jumped from 4.8 million hectoliters to 44 million hectoliters in the time ED has been president. I want you to think about that for a second. That means more business for trucking companies, more business for drivers. That means more drivers are getting paid. People do not drink to get drunk. People buying drinks means we have more to celebrate, we have more events. People have more money. When ED became president, David Whitehead had been shut down for years. A factory that once employed 5,000 people plus brought in $30 million worth of spending within the Kadoma economy. It was dead. Today, the machines are up and working again. New workers are being trained. New investors have pumped in $50 million to give it another chance at life. If you see people who post cars, money, food on social media, they're celebrating prosperity. I understand some of them are obnoxious because we all celebrate money differently, but they're not celebrating luck. They're celebrating that it's their turn. ED did all the hard work that is earning us the right to feel that relief. Here's what this moment reminds me of. Have you ever watched the movie Shawshank Redemption? There was a prisoner, his name was Andy, spent 19 years digging through the sewage pipe to escape captivity. 19 years, 1 inch per night. And when he finally crawls through the pipe and he emerges into the rain, free, alive, and reborn, that scene, that moment of emergence is where Zimbabwe is right now. We are crawling out of the pipe. The tears on our faces are not just relief, they're vindication. That spending is vindication. Or think of Liverpool Football Club, 30 years, 3-0, without winning the Premier League. 30 years of heartbreak, of being told your glory days are behind you. And then in 2020, they win it. The moment that Jurgen Klopp saw that they'd actually done it, he didn't celebrate wildly. In fact, he cried. Because vindication, real vindication, it hits you like everybody was wrong and we were right. We persisted. Here's the part I need to say with real seriousness. Just like the Liverpool story, we're not yet home. We left the ICU into the HDU. Still monitored, still fragile. We're still one major shock away from catastrophe. The IMF didn't say, now you can relax. They said, now you can borrow. And you better not waste it. Which brings me to the point that I think ought to matter to you the most, access to credit. This is the next revolution. The people who were once financially excluded can now be financially included. George Guvamatanga understands this because he basically dealt with it every day as a banker when he was at Barclays. It's the tomato vendor who's on the corner who comes and wants to borrow $20 and spin it, bring it back within the week. It's the young person who walks in with a big idea, but the bank wants to ask them for a title deed. We finally have an opportunity where this is no longer going to be the hindrance. ED has delivered, but only if these people continue to manage the recovery and stay disciplined. The addition of John Mushayavanu completes the big three for ED's dream team in the Treasury Department. Mutuli Ngube will bring you the direction to how you get the president's vision. George Guvamatanga is so aggressive and such a gangster. He's going to give you the feet that are going to take all the thorns they have to get you there. But when you add John to that, what you now have is you also have discipline. He will bring very, very steady hands. You have to understand that recovery is fragile. In fact, it is easier to break than to build. 1 year of fiscal irresponsibility, one scandal that spooks the investors, one moment where people lose trust and the patient is back in the ICU, and this time it will be harder to come out once you go back in there. So don't just celebrate the comeback, participate in maintaining it. When you see your representative talking about the budget, don't scroll past it. You have to ask, where's that money going? You saw Tinoma Chakaire, the Minister of Youth, asking for 25% of all expenditure to be selfishly guarded for young people and their ideas. Tatenda Mabetera brought up new issues to the fore and Jacob Mudenda edified them. People thought Mudenda attacked Matevera. Are you kidding me? Mudenda is the one who requested the meeting to be conducted by the Ministry of Finance so that Matevera could air out her ideas. That wasn't an attack on her. That was Mudenda challenging her, and that is precisely what his job is. Whether you agree or you disagree, they were participating, and you have to ask yourself the question, if you are. When you see corruption, actual corruption and not politics, you must continue to speak, because the thieves are also watching this recovery. They're licking their lips. Zimbabwe is back, and it's not a slogan, it's a verified fact. But back is not the same as safe. Back means we're awake, we're in this game. It means we're moving. The next 5 years will determine whether this is a recovery or a renaissance. And that's entirely on you. So tonight, celebrate. Breathe easy. Let yourself feel proud. But tomorrow, get back to work again. Because the easiest way to lose a recovery is to assume that it's permanent. Until next time, head bowed.